All right, man. My beautiful people. Again, thanks so much for joining us back again. Midday mental break. We are continuing along in the book The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. This book again is a book that's recommended by Will Smith, Oprah Winfrey. And what we're doing here is I'm just sharing some things with you that actually helped me to free myself when I was sick and tired of being sick and tired on that job. And how I went from being an employee to an entrepreneur. One of the biggest ways is I chose to do what no one else was willing to do, and one of those things is to read myself. To read was to read, and those the things that I read helped me to free my mind, so then I could free my body because my spirit was then free. So anyway, this is New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put it in a book, we absolutely will find it. This is a book that's been highly recommended by many successful people. That's why I added it to my library, and you can choose to do the same. A good afternoon or good afternoon to you or morning to you, depending on what side of the country or world you're in. Miss Erica Padmore, thanks so much for joining. Hey, man, I'm not going to take up too much of your time. We got 30 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day to change your life. So that's all it is. Consistently every day, just take a step by step, step by step, step by step. You'll eventually get to your destination. It's New Black Wall Street Book Club. You know what time it is, man? Time to get this show on the road. Mr. DJ, hit the music. What's going on, Sunshine? Thanks so much for joining. How you guys doing, man? Thanks so much for joining here on the New Black Wall Street Book Club. Today we're continuing along in our journey into The Alchemist, right? The Alchemist, if you guys know anything about alchemy, it's all about turning lead into gold. And so it gives us the indication that, our life might be lead right now, but we want to turn to gold. Or our bank account might be small right now, but we want to turn to gold. Well, you got an opportunity to do that by following your personal legend. So we're going to get into the book, The Alchemist. That's right, The Alchemist by Mr. Paulo Coelho. The Alchemist by Mr. Paulo Coelho. While you guys are connecting with us, let us know exactly where you're connecting from, what city, what state. I always love to know just how far our reach is. So go ahead and do that for us. Hit that like button, that share button, let people know that we're here. And if you know some people that might have been an author or like to read or are looking to become looking for success this year, go ahead and invite them to this broadcast here today. What am I doing here? Well, I'm ERGJ, Certified Financial Educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises, and also ERGJ Black Bazaar, also international best-selling author of the book, The Black Billionaires Club. That's right, it's a study of Black wealth. It's a study of the 12 richest Black people in the world today and how they built their wealth. I just believe that if you and I want to be wealthy, we should study wealthy people. They're going to put in console study. We should study wealthy people. Well, not only that, guys, what I'm doing here is I'm just sharing with you some things that I did, right? When I was sick and tired of being sick and tired on that job, some things that I did. Well, one of the things that I did was I would take my lunch break and I would split it up. I say 30 minutes I'm going to use to eat. That's right, to nourish my physical body. The other 30 minutes I was going to use to feed myself. That's right, feed my mind and then feed my spirit by good books that I can read. Now, if you wonder, what were other people doing during their lunch? Oh, they were watching the news. They were talking about the latest drama on TV. What was I doing? I was feeding myself. What are they still doing? They're still at the job, not enjoying themselves, talking at lunch, you know what I'm saying? All the drama that's going on in the world. What am I doing? I am free to do as I please. And so I don't know, did it make a difference? Who knows? But it made a difference for me because I changed the way that I thought. I changed the way that I perceived things. I changed my perception. And guess what happened? I changed my reality. That's right. I changed my perception. And then guess what happened after that? I changed my reality. Well, you have the opportunity to do the same as well. And I'm just here to share with you some things that I did. This is the entrepreneur journey. This is the success journey, whatever it is you want like to call. Hey, Miss Sunshine said, hey, how are you? I've been meaning to read this book. May have to make it next on my list. All right, been meaning to read it. I hear that. We got a lot of meaning to do, huh, Miss Sunshine? I've been meaning to, how long you been meaning to read this book? All right, that's what it says it happened. But I've been meaning to do it. Well, don't worry, we got a book club. And so here's the good news. You don't have to do it by yourself. You can read along with people. You can connect. We do have the Black Billionaires Club, which you can join as well. You just simply go to theblackbillionairesclub.com, theblackbillionairesclub.com. And inside of that club, we have the book club. And so we just choose to do and follow what billionaires and millionaires do. One thing that they do, they read. That's right. They read. And they got a list of books that they say you and I should read. The question is, will we read them? The other thing that they do, guys, is they actually take notes. That's right. So we do have journals available for you at ERGJ Black Bazaar. Go to www.ergjblackbazaar.com. Go ahead and check out a journal. We got $15 journals, $20 journals. You can get you a journal. And of course, all of these are Afrocentric. We custom design these for you to be able to speak to your to our culture, right? So you got scriptures in the journal. You got a little place mark for your page. Go ahead and pick you up a journal today, because what do billionaires do? They write stuff down. You got to get it out your head. That's right. Get the ideas, get the dream, get it out of your spirit, put it down so you can make it happen. Sunshine said, about 2 years, I'm currently reading The Hoover and Productivity. I read 1 to 2 books a month. Hey, you on your way to success. You are on your way to success. You probably got some books that you recommend to reread as well. Love for you to join the book club that we have going on. But anyway, let's get right into what we're going to be reading today, guys. The Alchemist. That's right. The Alchemist, a book that was recommended again by Oprah Winfrey, Will Smith, people like that we might look up to and want to have the type of success that they have. Now, we're going to pick up here. Just kind of recap where we are in the story for those that might just be joining us for the first time. There's a young boy named Santiago who is on a journey. And he's a shepherd boy, and he was on his way to go find a girl. And then on his way to find a girl, he ran into a few important people who would help him to interpret a dream that he had, and a dream about treasure. How many guys have had a dream about treasure? A dream about something that was beyond yourself, a dream about something that you could do or acquire. You've had a dream about treasure. Maybe you had a dream about starting your own business. That's treasure. You had a dream about getting out of debt. That's treasure. You had a dream about getting that car. That's treasure. You had a dream about taking that vacation. That's treasure. How many guys have had a dream about treasure? So Santiago had a dream about treasure, but he didn't really know how to interpret the dream by himself. And so he came across a gypsy. And the gypsy said, he talked to the gypsy, and the gypsy said, hey, I will tell you the interpretation of your dream if you will give me 1/10 of the treasure when you find it. So she was bargaining. We got to understand, there's nothing wrong with that, because she said, hey, if you want something, you got to give up something. And I want you and I to understand that there's no such thing as something for nothing. I'm telling you, in the Black community, we continue to want to get something for nothing. No, there's got to be an exchange. Everybody put in the comments on exchange. So she said, hey, I will interpret your dream for you if you will give me 1/10 of the treasure when you find it. So it didn't cost him nothing now. It may cost him something later. He agreed to do it. So she told him, hey, you can find your treasure in Egypt at the pyramids. He's like, okay. So then he continued along. He came across an old man. Old man was the king of Salem, the king of peace, Melchizedek. And he taught, the old man gave him some wisdom and stuff like that. And he ended up telling the man he didn't have to tell the man about his dream, because he already knew. But he said, hey, I'll tell you, where to find your treasure. But in order for me to tell you, in order for me to help you to make a decision, you're going to have to give me 1/10 of all that you own, or 1/10 of your flock. And so he had to make a decision. So he decided to give up 1/10 of the flock. The old man told him, you can find your treasure in Egypt at the pyramids. So he finally was convinced. There's 2 messengers that came to him and told him where to go find his treasure. So in exchange, so now he's on his way to Africa, where Egypt is located. On his way to Egypt, he then ran into a new friend in his new land, strange land, and that new friend ended up robbing him of all that he had left. So now he's trying to figure out, he started looking at himself as a victim. Then he said, no, I'm in a strange land. I don't know, I don't speak the language, but guess what? I'm going to keep moving forward. So that's what he did. He kept moving forward. And now he came across a merchant, a crystal merchant. And his idea said, hey, I'm going to help this merchant. So he helped the merchant by cleaning all the glass, cleaning his store, basically. And when he cleaned the store, now people started to come in and do business at the merchant. It's some of the best times in business for the merchant now. Now, this is what happened after that. The merchant, he told the merchant, he said, hey, I'll work for you if you pay me enough to get to Egypt. because that's where I'm going. I'm going to go find my treasure. The merchant, started to kill his dream. Man, Egypt is too far. You'll never make enough. You'll never get to eat. Pretty much, he would just start killing the man's dream. Because why? Because the merchant never realized his dream. He never went after, he went after his dream to start the shop, but he didn't go after the dream to actually go to Mecca, which was one of his other dreams. So he had plenty of dreams. So now we are at a place where, he's despondent. He's working for the merchant, and this is where we're going to pick up. But the merchant told him, he said, man, the reason why the merchant never realized his dream to go to Mecca, because he was afraid that it would all be a disappointment. So he preferred that his dream was just simply remain a dream. He would rather dream about Mecca than to actually go to Mecca, because he has fear of disappointment. How many of you guys have dealt with this type of fear? Fear of disappointment. Maybe you have excluded yourself from certain relationships because of fear of disappointment. You don't want to be let down no more. Maybe you stop chasing your dreams because you've been disappointed before. So now you stop trying because you don't want to be disappointed. The fear of disappointment has got you stuck and no longer wanting to go chase your dream. The fear of disappointment, being let down again. You can't take it no more. It's the last time I ever put myself in this position because I don't want to be let down no more. How many guys have been through that? So we pick up here in the story, The Alchemist, right? The Alchemist by Mr. Paulo Coelho. 2 more months passed, and the chef brought many customers into the crystal shop. The boy estimated that if he worked for 6 more months, he could return to Spain and buy 60 sheep and yet another 60. So now Santiago, he's not even thinking about Egypt no more. He's not thinking about his treasure. He's talking about Spain. He's talking about, man, here's what I can do when I go back. Why is he thinking like this? Because he has picked up the philosophy of the merchant or his boss. How many guys are in a place right now? You might be working somewhere, and you have picked up the philosophy or the culture of the place where you work. You're in a workplace full of people who have no ambition. They have no desire. They don't want nothing more other than a paycheck at the end of the week. How many of you have found yourself in a position where you have picked up the culture and the philosophy of your environment? Now notice this is work. He spends most of his day there, right? We spend 8 hours a day there, or 40 hours a week, plus or minus some. So a lot of our day, a third of our day, right? 8 hours, 16 hours, 24 hours a day, 8 hours at work. That's a third of your day. That means a third of your life is at work. And have we began to pick up the culture and the philosophy of that job? In particular, your boss. Ooh, Lord. Yikes. Man, Mark Daniels said, man, the fear of failure has paralyzed my movement forward in years past. And that's a real fear. So in less than a year, he was thinking, man, in less than a year, I would have doubled my flock and I would be able to do business with the Arabs, because he was now able to speak his strange language. So he's thinking about what he used to do. Being a shepherd, he's thinking about how he can expand that, right? Being a shepherd, how he can expand that business. Okay. Since that morning in the marketplace, he had never again made use of Urim and Thummim. Now, if you remember, Urim and Thummim were these 2 stones that the old man gave him, said that when you find yourself in a rut, go ahead and ask a good question and pull out your answer from the stones. He ain't even used that no more. Like, should I go back to Spain, or should I keep going towards the treasure? And should I go back to what I know, or should I keep going towards what I don't know? He ain't even asked no questions no more. He just fell into the culture and the philosophy of his boss. Because Egypt was now, listen to this, Egypt was now just a distant dream for him, as was Mecca for the merchant. So now he is thinking just like his boss. He is thinking just like those that are in his environment. I want to tell you today that if you are influenced by your environment, then you will never change your environment. Let me say that again. If you are in other words, if you are influenced by your environment, then you won't be an influencer of the environment. If you're in the hood and you're influenced by the hood, well, how are you going to help bring people out of the hood? They influencing you when you should be influencing them. You understand? If you're influenced by your environment, then you will never change your environment. And he was now influenced by his environment. Anyway, the boy had become happy in his work and thought all the time about a day when he would disembark at Tarifa as a winner. You must always know what it is that you want, the old king had said. The boy knew and was now working toward it. Maybe it was his treasure to have wound up in that strange land, met up with a thief, and doubled the size of his flock without spending a cent. He was proud of himself. He had learned some important things like how to deal in crystal and about the language without words and about omens. One afternoon, he had seen a man at the top of the hill complaining that it was impossible to find a decent place to get something to drink after such a climb. The boy, accustomed to recognizing omens, spoke to the merchant. Let's sell tea to the people who climb the hill. Lots of places sell tea around here, the merchant said, but we could sell tea in crystal glasses. I've been told that beauty is the great seducer of men. So now, if you remember, if you were here yesterday or last episode, this is the third idea that this young man Santiago has had to help this merchant make more money. You understand? The first idea was to clean the glass, which he did, the crystal, and now he had more customers coming in. The second idea, he said, well, hey, let's put a display case down at the bottom of the hill so more people can see your crystal. But the merchant was like, man, that's too dangerous. I don't want my crystal to be destroyed. Now he's saying, hey, I got another bright idea. How many guys keep having bright idea after bright idea after bright idea? Matter of fact, you got a whole bunch of ideas for other people, but you keep glossing over the ideas for yourself. Let me say that again. You got a whole bunch of ideas for other people, how they can be successful, how they can win in life. You got all these ideas for everybody else, but you. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because I think that sometimes it's much easier to help other people. You can see their situation for what it is. You don't have to feel any necessary emotional connection to it. You can be clear in your thoughts, let things come out, say, hey, I think this is a good idea for you to try. But have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and said, you know, self, I think this is a good idea for you to try. He's got all these wonderful ideas to help the merchant make more money. Lots of places sell tea around here, the merchant said, but we could sell tea in crystal glasses. The people will enjoy the tea and want to buy the glasses. I have been told that beauty is the great seducer of men. The merchant didn't respond, but that afternoon, after saying his prayers and closing the shop, he invited the boy to sit with him and share his hookah, that strange pipe used by the Arabs. What is it you're looking for? Asked the old merchant. I've already told you, I need to buy my sheep back so I can earn the money to do so. The merchant put some new coals in the hookah and inhaled deeply. I've had this shop for 30 years. I know good crystal from bad and everything else there is to know about crystal. I know its dimensions and how it behaves. If we serve tea and crystal, the shop is going to expand, and then I have to change my way of life. Listen to what he just said. He literally is saying, I don't want to grow. Because if I grow, I'm going to have to change. How many guys know that growth requires change? It's a requirement. You're going to outgrow your clothes. It's going to require you to change. He said if we serve tea and crystal, the shop is going to expand, and then I have to change my way of life. I mean, this brother, merchant, he got more excuses than anybody, don't he? Like, dang, I mean, don't you want your business to grow? I mean, you used to have a dream about having a super successful business. You used to have a successful business back in the day, and now it's slowed up. Now you got this young boy come with all these great ideas, and now you're saying, man, if we grow, I have to change my way of life. The little boy said, well, isn't that good? Merchant said, I'm already used to the way things are. In other words, he said, I'm comfortable. I'm good. I'm cool with that. He said, I'm already used to the way things are. Before you came, I was thinking about how much time I had wasted in the same place while my friends had moved on and either went bankrupt or did better than they had before. It made me very depressed. Now I can see that it hasn't been too bad. The shop is exactly the size I always wanted to be. I don't want to change anything because I don't know how to deal with change. I'm used to the way I am. Now, this is a very tough thing to swallow because you and I, we come across people all the time who are used to the way that they are and they don't want to change. And for many of us, it's difficult. Like, man, isn't this good? I mean, all of this is available to you, but some people don't want to change. Some people don't want to get out of debt. Some people don't want to build wealth. Some people don't want to change. They're used to the way things are. Some people don't want to get out the hood. Some people don't want to go to college. Some people don't want to further their education. Some people don't want to exercise. Some people don't want to eat healthy. Some people don't want to change. I don't know who I'm talking to because some of us, we've been trying to push people to change. Some people, just like this merchant, I want you to remember the merchant. Everybody put in the comments, so remember the merchant. Remember the merchant. I don't want to change anything because I don't know how to deal with change. I'm used to the way that I am. I'm so glad I'm not the merchant. Now, again, when we first started this journey, I asked you, are you a sheep or are you a shepherd? Now I got to ask you, are you the merchant or are you the adventurer? Are you the merchant? You good. You don't want to change. You don't know how to deal with change. You're used to the way things are. Or are you Santiago, the adventurer? Not Santiago the shepherd now, Santiago the adventurer. I got all these bright ideas. Man, we can do more. We can have more. We can be more. We can make this thing big. We can grow. Remember the merchant. The boy didn't know what to say. The old man continued, you have been a real blessing to me. Today I understand something I didn't see before. Every blessing ignored becomes a curse. Uh-oh. Every blessing ignored becomes a curse. I don't want anything else in life, but you are forcing me to look at wealth and at horizons I've never known. Now that I've seen them and now that I see how immense my possibilities are, I'm going to feel worse than I did before you arrived because I know the things I should be able to accomplish and I don't want to do them. I know the things that I should be able to accomplish and I don't want to do so. The tragic story of the merchant. It's good I refrained from saying anything to the baker and Tarifa, thought the boy to himself. They went on smoking a pipe for a while as the sun began to set. They were converted. Hold on. Can you imagine, right? You're Santiago and you're hearing this man say this stuff. And I don't know. For me, I'd be like, huh? I probably wouldn't understand. I keep my mouth closed. I respect my elders. What are you talking? How can you, that's how you think? Just imagine listening to someone tell you that because you came into my life and you allowed me to see possibilities, allowed me to see things that I couldn't see for myself, I'm going to feel worse than I did before you came. Because I know the things that I should be able to accomplish. I know that there's a lot of possibilities for me, but I don't want to do them. I don't even know. I would probably be like, all right, deuces. I had to go. Like, obviously, okay, cool. That's your life. Make your decisions. That's your choice, but I got to go. Whew. They were conversing in Arabic, and the boy was proud of himself for being able to do so. There had been a time when he thought that his sheep could teach him everything he needed to know about the world, but they could never have taught him Arabic. There are probably other things in the world that the sheep can't teach me, thought the boy as he regarded the old merchant. All they ever do really is look for food and water. And maybe it wasn't that they were teaching me, but I was learning from them. Mach 2, the merchant finally said. Well, what does that mean? You would have to have been an Arab to understand the answer, but in your language, it would be something like "it is written." And he smothered the coals in the hookah. As he smothered the coals in the hookah, he told the boy that he could begin to sell tea in the crystal glasses. Sometimes there's just no way to hold back the river. Sometimes there'll be nobody. So he did. At the end of the day, he told the boy that you can sell the tea in the crystal glasses. So he started coming to. He said, "Go ahead, all right, go ahead." What could it hurt? I don't know. Oh Lord. Okay, let's keep going. The men climbed the hill, and they were tired they were tired when they reached to the top. But there they saw a crystal shop that offered refreshing mint tea. They went in to drink the tea, which was served in beautiful crystal glasses. My wife never thought of this, said one. And he bought some crystal. He was entertaining guests that night, and the guests would be impressed by the beauty of the glassware. The other man remarked that the tea was always more delicious when it was served in crystal because the aroma was retained. The third one said that it was a tradition in the Orient to use crystal glasses for tea because it had magical powers. Before long, everybody put it on, so before long. Before long, the news spread. And a great many people began to climb the hill to see the shop that was doing something new in a trade that was so old. Other shops were open that served tea and crystal, but they weren't at the top of the hill and they had little business. Eventually, the merchant had to hire 2 more employees. He began to import enormous quantities of tea along with his crystal, and his shop was sought out by men and women with a thirst for the new. And in that way, the months passed. Before long. Right now, I want you to think about your idea, the idea that you have. The idea that's been festering you for quite a while that you're thinking about doing something. Just like Santiago, we had an idea for the shop. And I'm hoping that maybe you have an idea for someone else, but maybe you have an idea for you. An idea for your business, an idea for your development, an idea for your health, an idea for your wealth. Maybe you have an idea. As you think about this idea, I want you to put yourself in this situation that you took a chance, something that you're uncomfortable with, but you said, I'm going to go ahead, right? So you got your idea in your head and you're saying to yourself, go ahead. Just like the merchant said to Santiago, you put a new thing into action. And before long, news spreads. That's recognition. Before long, news spreads. Now you got people that are looking for you. They heard about what you do. They're astonished by this new thing. And now before long, you grow and expand. Got to hire more people to help you because now the business is bigger than you thought. Before long. You see, I can see this because I'm thinking about what we're doing right now. And I know right now we might only have a few people that are watching, that are paying attention. But in my mind, I'm saying before long, they'll be listening to the podcast. Before long, more people will be tuning in to watch the show. Before long, I want to challenge you to implement your idea today. I want to challenge you to implement your idea today, which means put some energy into your dream. I want to challenge you to do that. And just taste and see that the Lord is good and that before long, news will spread. This is the New Black Wall Street Book Club, where Black folk do read. You put in the book, we absolutely will find it. This is also a presentation from the Black Billionaires Club. I want to invite you to join the Black Billionaires Club, where you can continue to not only be a part of this, but have way more in the future. The Black Billionaires Club, we do have personal development and also business development. We also have financial literacy and also investment education, where you can learn how to make your, number one, you can learn how to make money. And then number two, you can learn how to make your money work harder for you than you work for it. All for $10 a month right now, you can do that. Now, I don't know when you might listen to this, but hopefully you'll catch it while the special is still going and you decide to invest in yourself because you understand there's no such thing as something for nothing. Join the Black Billionaires Club today. In the comments below, I'd like for you to share with us the takeaway that you had from today's passage. As we were reading in The Alchemist, alchemy is the method or the process of turning lead into gold. And as you'll see, Santiago, he's now coming to the merchant's life and he turned lead into gold. Everything's expanding. More people are coming. They're selling more stuff. They're making more money. He's turned lead into gold. Well, I think that you and I can do the very same thing. We take that idea, we do something with it, and before long, news will spread. More people will find out about it. They'll be searching for us, and we'll have more business than we can handle. We'll have more clients than we can handle. We'll have more success than we can handle before long. Now you see why I chose to read books on my lunch break, so that I could then change the way that I think and then change my life. This is how I went from employee to entrepreneur. I simply chose to do things that the 95% will not do. And I can live the life that 95% of people can't afford to live. You have the same opportunity. The same book exists. And here's the cool thing. You don't have to read by yourself. Join the club today. Well, guys, I'm ERGJ, Certified Financial Educator, CEO of ERGJ Enterprises and ERGJ Black Bazaar. Again, get the book, join the club, get your journals at ERGJ Black Bazaar. That's www.ergjblackbazaar.com. Support. Maybe you don't want to join the club, but you want to support what we're doing here. I appreciate that as well. It helps us to continue to help others that want our help. I want you to remember this, that it takes a village. And it starts with us. Let's build as we climb together. We all we got, people. But guess what? That's enough. Now I pray to God to preserve each and every one of you, that we'll be able to meet again tomorrow, same time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time across all of our live broadcasts. Until then, you know what time it is. Mr. DJ, hit the music.